Ladies, young ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all or good evening. You are once again welcome here on your platform, much beloved, the platform for awakening consciousness. So this is the headline of international news. There are tears on the side of France, there are tears on the side of the European Union. Both entities are lamenting, weeping towards each other from the recent decision that American President Donald Trump has just made. And this decision, which is so dear to American President Emmanuel Macron, involves launching a true trade war on all levels, regardless of the state, whether it's China, etc., but especially Europe, since internally, American President Donald Trump considers the European Union as a sort of leech that is there to suck the American state on all fronts. First, America serves as a military umbrella for Europe, providing security coverage for Europe. But then, the tariffs, which are really at a very low level, allow Europeans to sell things to the United States of America and to come and replenish their coffers. This whole situation is troubling for American President Donald Trump. He has therefore decided to increase tariffs, I believe, to 25%. This is something that angers the Europeans. And so we first have the President of the European Union Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, who came out to sound the alarm, to draw the attention of Europeans worldwide to how Donald Trump is sending the European economy to ruin. As if that wasn't enough. France, whose head of state, Emmanuel Macron, has self-proclaimed himself as the true war leader against Russia. Emmanuel Macron, within his country, there is weeping. And this time, it is the entrepreneurs who are crying. They say they did not expect this. This is the beginning of the bankruptcy of American and French companies. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the context of this video conference, this is what we are going to talk about. Thank you for sharing the video conference as much as possible. Share it in all possible groups, but above all, give it a lot of likes. Don't forget to click the subscribe. Subscribe to this page. It allows you not to miss my conferences, my video conferences, on international news, which is analyzed from a 180-degree perspective. We need to be informed as Africans. We must have the right information, and it is only through this that we can form our own convictions about our various opinions regarding the management of the world we live in. We are at a point where we need to know what is happening around us. And what is happening around us, we need to know the real information. So, let's first go to the European Union. We have the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, who stated that she regrets the American decision to impose tariffs on European cars. So she says this, I quote, she says, "I deeply regret the American decision to impose tariffs on European automotive exports. We will now assess this announcement, as well as other measures considered by the United States of America in the coming days. The European Union will continue to seek negotiated solutions while preserving its economic interests." This is what Ms. Ursula von der Leyen, who is the President of the European Commission, declared. You see, in this statement, we see lamentations. This president announces the descent into hell of the European economy. Beyond even this announcement, she notes that obviously it is a regret. Europe will face very difficult situations. Many construction companies in the automotive sector will find themselves bankrupt. And what then is the responsibility of the European Union? That is why she says, towards the end of her statement, after having expressed her regret, she says that the European Union is the only one that has chosen the European Union. The European Union, moreover, having become aware, will now evaluate its measures in the coming days. It is now that the European Union realizes the danger of the decision and the seriousness that stems from the decision Donald Trump has made. Since initially, they thought he was a nutcase, like they were, to say it. And the games are making announcements on the fly. But the gentleman is very serious. Since he is in the process of taking action, he delayed giving firm instructions to his administration. And that's where we know from a layman. The President of the European Commission becomes aware, and the European Union in its entirety realizes the necessity to come together and evaluate the measures that are being taken, and to see what decisions the European Union can make. There you go. And so, that's why, towards the end of her speech, she says that the European Union will continue to seek negotiated solutions while preserving its economic interests. The European Union, therefore, wants to negotiate with Donald Trump regarding his tariff duties. It must be ensured that Europe is nothing and will be nothing. Economically, it would be over. The Europeans have no raw materials. And so, America had implemented this policy of tariff discounts to facilitate their enrichment. And at the same time, they were helped to obtain raw materials from Africa. Now that there are no more raw materials coming from Africa, or at least they have become scarce. So, the countries from which France steals raw materials, these countries have been exposed. This is the case in the east of the DRC. This is the case of Niger, for which it has stopped. So ultimately, the only aspect Europe relied on was the export of automobiles and others. And moreover, this is what leads us to the complaints of French entrepreneurs. Everything they dreamed of is the opposite. French entrepreneurs, according to official information, did not expect President Donald Trump to impose tariffs on European goods. These are the French entrepreneurs speaking for France, which is the showcase of Europe, if we may say so, since it likes to present itself as such, France being the bearer of Europe's voice. Share this video conference, give it lots of likes. That's what encourages me, please. So, what's happening? And French entrepreneurs say they now need to proceed with restructuring and revise their development strategy. This is the information provided by the French newspaper Le Figaro. Initially, Donald Trump's victory in the American elections sparked enthusiasm. Yes, it's the French who are speaking. They say it sparked enthusiasm. In French business circles, and all the major companies planned to focus their efforts on the American market. So the American market was highly sought after. It was well targeted with the advent of Donald Trump in power, since they thought, well, he's someone who likes business. He likes business. He will certainly lower the tariff rates. That was their dream, but the opposite happened. And this opposite occurred. So, the major American companies that planned to focus their efforts on the American market, the major French companies, I was going to say, that planned to focus their efforts on the American market, hoping for a tax reduction and a relaxation of state regulations, found themselves facing something else. That's why they say this. We were wrong. They say we were wrong. So, it's a French entrepreneur speaking who acknowledges in an interview with Le Figaro that they were wrong. His name is Alexandre Chobol, President of France Industry. Thus, Donald Trump's widespread and contradictory statements fuel uncertainty, which always harms business. So, French entrepreneurs, and not the least of them, believe they were wrong. So, they will have to face the consequences of the fact that they were wrong. When you make a mistake, you face the consequences. You face the consequences. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the headline news. So thank you for sharing it as much as possible. If you share it, it makes me feel good. There you go. So, I will be back with you shortly by the grace of the Almighty with new updates. This was the voice of your one and only Samurai.